Hey everyone, Logan from Westwall here. The fly we're going to bring you this week is going to be a Gurgler fly. It's a little topwater pattern that just causes some commotion on top for when them fish might be a little spookier, it might be darker or overcast and you want to get their attention with something. A lot of people add crazy eyes and stuff to them. This is a real simple one, keeps it from fouling as much, and real great fly, and it's very effective. Hope you guys enjoy. The hook we're using for this Gurgler pattern is one of these Titan X Wacky from Mustad again, in a size 2. Just like I said last time, it's a really sharp hook with a nice coating on it. Seems to stick fish pretty good. We're going to bring your thread all the way to the back by the bend of the hook and start with some extra select craft fur and tan. And pick off a little bunch of it. I like, without me pulling it tight, for it to be roughly the size of a Sharpie marker. Give or take a little. Tie that right on top. Sticking out the back about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches. Then we're gonna go ahead and bring your thread right back to where you started. Throw a couple loops underneath, under the material, over the hook shank. Then bring it back on the other side. Now real quick, before we put any more material on there, let's just go ahead and put 3 little lines on each side. They don't have to be perfect, guys. I've never seen a shrimp with perfect mottled look. No straight lines. Then we have this Flashaboo in a barred orange color. It's not really flashy, but it definitely has a sheen to it. I have about 2 to 3 strands, and I'm going to split it in half so I can tie 2 to 3 strands on each side. And I'm going to cut those off just past the craft fur there. Then we have some medium Palmer chenille in a yellow color. Tie that in right on top with the thread. I like to do about 4 to 5 wraps of this. And you don't need too much material, guys. It doesn't have to be a really fancy pattern, like I said. Top waters work by causing commotion, so the fish is mostly just hearing the sound on top, seeing a tiny bit of flash and a silhouette, and he's either going to come up and nail it or he's not. So after the Palmer chenille, let's go ahead and take some Cactus chenille and large root beer. And I'm just going to get it started. Tie it in right on top. Bring it right back to where you finished your Palmer chenille. And then we have some sheet foam. I like the sticky back stuff. That way I can take 2 sheets and put them together like that. It seems to make them float a hair better and last a little longer for you. And then I just cut them into 1 3/4 inches, 2 inch long little pieces with a little tapered end. Whatever color you want on top of the Gurgler is going to be facing down to start. Take your little tapered end there. Tie that little tapered end right on top there, really good, nice and secure, so your foam doesn't slide around back and forth. Once you have that nice and tight, go ahead and bring your thread all the way forward. Fold your foam forward. And I do like to wrap the Cactus chenille once on the back side of the foam, then come in front of it. And we're just going to continue to wrap this Cactus chenille, building up a nice little shiny shrimpy body here. Keep it coming. You can use something like EP Tarantula brush or something if you want some little shrimpy legs down there, but like I said, it doesn't really need it. They're not paying that close attention to top waters most of the time. Once you brought it all the way forward, I do like to leave a little 1/8 inch gap or so in between the eye of the hook and where you finish that. Now I fold the foam back, pretty much matching the bend of the hook, maybe a hair shorter. And then I pinch it down up front where I'm going to tie in the foam so you don't cut your foam with the thread. Throw a bunch of wraps on it. I do like to come in front of it. Throw a bunch of wraps on just the hook shank, and that's really going to help lock your threads and your foam in. Go back the other way on top of it a few times. Don't be scared to put some pressure on it once you have some wraps on. Once you have some wraps, you shouldn't cut your foam. Make sure it's not wiggling on you. Once you have that done, go ahead and whip finish it. Then after you whip finish it, we have some UV Loon Flow here. I am going to put a tiny bit on top where your threads are of the foam. Go ahead and lock them in. And then turn your pattern over. You've got your threads on the bottom here. I like to throw some on them. And you're pretty much done with this pattern, guys. Like I said, gurglers don't have to be real crazy, real fancy. Anything shrimpy popping on top, little redfish, little snook, trout. Love eating.